Cancer, welcome in. So we're going to do a Celtic cross. See what's going on for you. Hopefully you guys have been doing well. Today is the first day of Cancer season. And it is the summer solstice. Alright, what's going on for Cancer? What do we need to know? What's going on? King of Wands. The Knight of Cups. Nine of Wands. Ace of Swords. Death. Seven of Pentacles. The Lovers. Eight of Swords. Knight of Wands. Three of Swords. Huh. You look like you're ready to move forward. Like your passion is up. You're excited. Your fire's kicking in. You have an idea, like you see where you want to be. You know, you have a vision and your fire's amped up for it. What's challenging you is the Knight of Cups. It almost feels like you're not sure if what you want is going to be open to what it is that you want, who it is that you want, because you did have the Lovers come out. So the root cause of all this is the Nine of Wands. This is the wounded warrior. So you may have constantly taken action in the same manner towards a lover. You may have approached them the same way. And so that's why you're like, the challenge here is you're not sure if they're going to have the same emotions and feelings that you do, being the King of Wands right now. So in the past, you got the Ace of Swords. So you got a clear truth on something in the past. You realized something it was clear in the past. Your higher self in all this, you have death. Well, it's like your higher self is saying, all right, well, this is over. It's done. Even though your passion has a vision to go towards it again. In the near future, we've got the Seven of Pentacles. Well, there could be something growing between you and this person. You know, if you're ready to invest, there could be something that grows here. Because you're open and ready, even though your higher self at one point is saying, I think this is over. It's almost like you're playing back and forth in your mind. You know, you want it, but you're like, ugh, I think it's over. You want it, but you think it's over. So you kind of need to get yourself to a point where you can pick one route, right? Is it over, or do you want it? Because it seems like you're ready to put the work towards it. Because your thoughts is you got the lovers on your mind. You've got a strong lover on your mind, right? The lovers is a unique connection. It's mind, body, soul. So it's not somebody you just hook up with at the bar, right? That's not a lover. It's, you know, it's just a hookup, right? You don't have all the feelings and the strong connection as you do with a lover. Now, how they're viewing this is the Eight of Swords. So it almost gives me the sense they feel like they have to hold themselves back. They don't feel that they can come towards you. They don't see that they can come towards you. They just feel like they're just in a stuck holding pattern. And it has to do probably with the way you always were approaching them the same way. It never changed. So they feel they can't see anything right now. They can't see anything more into this situation. Because don't forget, your higher self is saying, oh, this is over. So that's kind of the energy you're putting out. And that's probably the energy they're picking up, which is why they feel, well, I'm stuck. There's nothing I can do, right? Because if Cancer isn't going to move towards me or make any changes towards me, then there's nothing really I can do. I'm stuck. This is what it is. Your hopes and fears is the Knight of Wands. You hope to be able to come back in passionately, but you're also afraid that it might end up being like the Knight of Wands and you might only come back in that way. Right? So you hope to, but you also hope that that's not really the way or the only way you're going to come in towards this person. Now, the potential outcome, because of all this back and forth, you know, I want it, but it's over. You know, I want to put the work in, but am I coming in the same way? Well, the Three of Swords, there could end up being heartbreak again, separation, pain. Because you're not clear on one way or another with this lover. You're very mixed with your emotions on it. So that is a potential for going into this and it end up being in pain again. Heartbreak. Separation. Oh boy. Let's I already know that you're feeling passionate towards this person. You want to come in, you know, you feel good. We already know with the challenge. Well, I'm not going to go there. I want to know, what is this sharp truth? Because your higher self is telling you, well, it's over. So what was the truth here? The Ace of Swords. Let's just kind of go there. I think we get the gist of this. What was the sharp clarity here? The truth. What is this? We've got the Seven of Cups in reverse. Yeah, you got clear. You came out of confusion for sure in the past. Six of Wands. Swords, excuse me. Six of Swords. Page of Wands. So in the past, it almost feels like you got clear on the fact that you wanted to be free. You wanted to move on to calmer waters. You only took with you what you needed, and it wasn't this lover. So you mentally moved on to calmer waters, right? You said, okay, well, I'm not confused anymore. I don't, I'm clear. I'm clear on how I feel. And that is, I want my freedom. Okay, so you mentally moved on. And that's kind of what you got clear on. And that's why death is hanging over your head, because you already told yourself a while ago in the past that I want to be free. I'm going to move on. I want to live in calm, peaceful waters, and I'm just going to be free. And that's what I know. Okay. Now we know why death is hanging over your head. Okay. Because you're like, well, it's over. And that's because you made it over. You wanted this to be over. So let's clarify the death here. Three of Pentacles. There's the Seven of Pentacles again. Ten of Wands. So it weighs heavily on you because truthfully, you wanted to put in the work, but you do, but it weighs heavy on you. It's like you're telling yourself it's over, but you're like, well, I mean, can I, put in the work to build a foundation with this person? Can we start, somewhere, start building something again? But it weighs heavily on you. And I think that's because you already told yourself in the past it's over. All right. But in the near future, it's like you decide, okay, I think it clicks and you decide, no, I want to work on this. Yeah, it was a little heavy-handed, but I think in the near future, you're going to realize you want to work on this. So what's the Seven of Pentacles? Five of Wands. Three of Cups. Queen of Pentacles. Be aware that in the near future, when you finally say to yourself, nah, I want to put the work in with this. I want to come to this lover. I've decided. I'm ready. Well, be prepared, because you're going to have somebody around you. Queen of Pentacles is somebody that is, I want to say, in your immediate life, some shape or form, that is either a friend. With the Three of Cups, okay, you consider them to be a friend, is going to put up a fight on this. So I don't know if you find yourself talking to this friend about this lover. You know, you think they're your friend and you're talking about, hey, you're ready. You know, you thought you wanted to move off and be a free bird and do your thing, but you've changed your mind. You're realizing it's a strong connection. It's somebody you would like to put the work in. They're not going to be happy about this. And maybe they have, I don't know who this is to you. It looks like it's a friend, but they're not going to be happy. They're going to put up a fight on this. They could create competition. So if it's somebody of the opposite sex, they might put on the magic to keep your attention away from this lover. Let's be fair. Who is this Queen of Pentacles exactly? Who is this Queen of Pentacles? Ugh. The Devil. Capricorn energy. Whoever they are, they're toxic. They're codependent. Can we get more on this? They want to keep you chained to them. Yeah, Five of Cups. Yeah, the little green-eyed monster is going to come out if they feel upset, left behind, saddened over this situation of you finally wanting to make good with this lover. It's not going to go over well. Bottom of the deck, Empress. So it's a feminine energy, possibly a mother, possibly an ex-wife. Be mindful of that. This is not going to be easy for you. And maybe that's why you're having a tug of war, where you told yourself No, I want to be free from this. I don't, I don't want anything to do with this strong connection, even though you're pulled towards it. Maybe you subconsciously did because of this Queen of Pentacles, you knew was never going to be happy about you moving towards this lover. So tell me about the lover. Ten of Swords. Yeah, somebody you hurt. You hurt this person. They're hurt. It was a bad ending. Queen of Cups. Oof. Possible water sign. They were lovey. They had their cup of love open to you, and basically the cup got smashed. It was taken out of her hands and it was just crushed. All right, well, tell me about the Eight of Swords, why this Queen of Cups would feel stuck. Nothing they can do. Devil. They feel stuck and there's nothing they can do because of your devil. Queen of Pentacles. So they know about this. They know that there's a toxic attachment going on. There is nothing they can do, right? Sometimes the devil is hard to get away from. The devil is always tempting us in multiple ways. So whatever it is that you desire, you like, whatever turns you on, this devil's there to provide it to you, to keep you chained to them. You're chained to a codependent, toxic person. Knight of Swords. Five of Pentacles. They know. The reason they feel stuck is they know that whoever this Queen of Pentacles is that you are toxic, in a toxic way connected to, codependency, manipulation, whatever that is, they know that they'll come rushing in. They're going to fast talk you and make sure you leave your lover out in the cold, as they are now. The swords all around them. They can't see what's going on into your life. They don't know. They do know that there is a connection. They know it's toxic. They know that they're going to do whatever it takes to keep your lover shut out in the cold. They already know this. And if it is a water sign, Queen of Cups, they intuitively are already going to know this. They don't need to see it, although they feel stuck and there's nothing they can do. They're right. Because until you detach yourself away from the devil, this person, there is nothing they can do. All they can do is just let it be. Hopes and fears. Nine of Swords. Yeah. You're tore up for sure. Absolutely. You are worried. You're anxious because you're afraid that if you come in passionately, even though you want to, it's going to make matters worse. This because you're still tied to whoever this person is. So you're going to run in and want to have a quick roll in the hay, because that's part of the lover's connection, is its strong passion. But this lover is a Queen of Cups who's been hurt because you have come in before passionately and rushed out. So it is weighing heavy on you during this time. Absolutely it is. Because it would be repeating history, the wounded warrior, which is the root of this whole situation. So you would need to come in a different way. We'll clarify that. Let's do that now. Tell me about the Nine of Wands. The Four of Cups. Yeah, see, you come in already disconnected. You don't come in fully connected, right? You're coming in fire. You're dealing with the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is relationship, emotion. It's not just about the passion and the fire. You know, you're connected. You're disconnected from your emotions when you show back up to this Queen of Cups, your lover. Tell me about the Three of Swords. King of Pentacles. Excuse me, Knight of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles. So, in order to avoid the outcome of heartbreak and separation, no, excuse me. Yes. Heartbreak and separation, you would need to be steady. You would need to be practical. You would need to come in as a Nine of Pentacles, single and independent, not attached to whoever this devil person is, whoever this Queen of Pentacles is. You would need to be, because the Nine of Pentacles is single, abundant, independent. The Knight of Pentacles is practical, slow, steady, has an end plan, right? Has a plan laid out, is going to follow that plan and get to that destination. So in order to avoid separation and heartbreak, you would need to separate from this person. Because you're coming in disconnected from your emotions, and you are, because you're still connected to somebody who's pulling you away, and they're doing it on purpose. You told yourself, nope, I'm done. I'm not, moving on. I've made my mind up. And that's because you still have somebody, some devil person that you are connected to in a toxic way. That's usually what happens with these strong connections. There's always a karmic partner that is going to do whatever it takes to make sure the other lover is kept out in the cold, because they know that's a strong connection. They know that connection is going to work. They know that connection is going to make you happy. So what they do is they come at you for a quick fix, right? So instead of you coming in slow, practical, and doing it the right way, single, on your own, independent, away from any connections like this, it takes time. And sometimes, right, you just want something sweet, right? You want sugar. You need a coffee, quick pick me up, right? You need something quick in the moment. That's what this devil does. They provide you with what you need. Now, it doesn't mean it's healthy for you because it's quick, right? We can all go to McDonald's But if you eat McDonald's every day, what is it going to do? It's going to clog your arteries. It's going to make you sick. You're going to have health problems because it was always a quick fix. Now, if you go to the grocery store and you buy all the ingredients and you go home and you make it, it takes time. But the end result is it's healthier for you. And there's nothing better than a good home-cooked meal. It's the only way I can explain it. This person provides you McDonald's quick in the moment. The lover is going to provide you something healthy, hearty, good for you, better for your health, but it's going to take longer, right? You can't put a cake in the oven and pull it out 5 minutes later and eat it. It's not ready. So it takes time. So that's why they always say good things come to those who wait in the right time, the right pace, the right manner, not as the Knight of Wands. And you already know you got anxiety over this because you're afraid you're going to go back in that same manner and then pull right back out because you think that this person's going to flash, that happy meal in front of you, whatever that is. I don't know what they're flashing in front of you. I don't know if it's money. I don't know if it's sex. I don't, who knows? I don't know. It'll be different for everybody, but it's somebody who's waving something to bring you back. And you're worried because it's been a repetitive pattern. So, let's pull a shadow card. So what's the shadow here? Too many, but I'm going to take the top. Breaking karmic cycles. Recognize repeating patterns and take action to break generational wounds. You've got to break the cycle. You know that this is a cycle. I know you know this because you told yourself it was over and then you're like, wait a minute. I don't think this is over. I think I really want to put the work into this, even though I ended it. You have to break a karmic cycle with whoever this devil is, because it's a strong attachment that does not want to be left grieving without you, which is very toxic. And this is why, in order to avoid separation, you need to come in single, abundant, independent, on your own, and wait for the cake to bake for 35 minutes and not 5. Okay? So you got to break those karmic cycles, and that starts with whoever this is. Okay, so we've got Capricorn, we've got Gemini, Scorpio, heavy Capricorn. Those are the main signs. Yeah. So you could be dealing with any of those signs in this situation. There's a lot of parties. So you take that as it resonates. I hope this was helpful. I hope it found you well. And much love. I'll talk to you soon.